All right, it says I'm live here. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. We'll see if anybody jumps on. How's everybody doing? I'm really late to the party this week. I apologize. I was getting text messages this morning from people on, "Hey, where are you? What's going on? This, that, everything else." And I was on the road. I was drove down to Virginia, and that's where I was. So I missed this morning. The plan was to do the show this morning down in Virginia. It didn't work out, so I came home, and this is where I'm at. So I'm just give me a second here. I'm gonna share this a few times here so we can get this out and about. And we got a lot to cover, lots and lots and lots to cover this week that went on with the shows. Some more announcements. I want to start today, Friday. I'm going to start this off with a shout out to my man Gary Brugman. Gary, I got a patch. Gary Brugman from Patch Ops. They were doing a fundraiser for Gary. Gary was in the hospital with he was sick. I think he had COVID. Don't quote me on that. But Gary, if you've watched this show for a while, Gary had his podcast on our network for quite a while, and hopefully, when he's feeling better, he'll bring that back to light with everybody. So, love you, brother. What else? Oh, yeah. So this morning, I obviously was gone. Had everything ready to go. Went down and got 300 sample packs of our Heroes United from our sister company, HMG Beverage, and from our roaster over at Rick's Roasters. Hung out with Eric down there this morning because we're taking those sample packs down to the All Heroes Open next week in Tampa, Florida. So I'm gonna get started next week. A week from today, the All Heroes Open, Tampa, Florida. We're going to be there, and you still have time to get your tickets. If you're down in the Florida area, down in Tampa, Team Addo, I'm putting it on there right now. I'm trying to multitask here. Team Addo is doing their All Heroes Open next week. It's in the comment sections. Get your tickets. It's gonna be awesome. It's an absolute blast. I think they got about 350, 400 people, something like that, showing up on next Friday. So it's gonna be awesome. Go check it out. Let me see here. What else do we have? We also have after that we have VetXpo in Roanoke, Texas, October 8th and 9th with Gallant Few. They have a few tickets available as well. You can go to their website. I'm feeling froggy tonight. Look at that. I'm putting that in there. If you're in Dallas, Texas area, go check that out. October 8th and 9th. So next week, Tampa, October 8th and 9th, Texas. So listen, if you guys jump on, say hello. Let me know you guys are out there. I know I'm late today. My phone blew up, and I apologize. It's been a crazy week, but I'm here now, and I'm going to give you guys what you missed this week on the shows. And there is a lot to cover this week, so stay with me as we get ready to cover these shows. I hope everybody has had a good week so far. So let's go ahead and let's get started on your HMG weekly wrap up and what you missed. Oh, excuse me, because there's a lot of shows this week, a lot of good content. So first up, we are going to go with the Decision Hour. The Decision Hour this week, Transition on Purpose with Dennis Vlope. Dennis is a retired Navy commander. That's his book right there. Talks about transition. He's an international coaching federation professional certified coach with the Leadership Research Institute, specializing in performance, personal leadership, and transition coaching. He basically helps you guys get on track, get focused, and start fulfilling what it is that you want to do. He's no stranger to leadership. As I mentioned, he spent more than 20 years in the United States Navy as a naval officer. He is a Annapolis grad. We talk about his time in the Navy. He actually shares a very personal story, something that happened to him while he was in command during the 2014 Sochi Olympics. It's a very, very interesting story, eye-opening. He's also an international bestseller with his book, Transition on Purpose. Check it out. We talk about like who's in your tribe and being positive and how to move forward and whatnot. We talk about his book. We talk about his coaching. He also has a company called Seven River Leadership Group, and he invests in other businesses. He invests in heroes' businesses. So if you are a law enforcement, firefighter, first responder, basically a hero, community hero, a veteran as well, right? He wants to work with you. So look him up, check him out. I'm going to have all that stuff in the notes after the show. Carry On Podcast, how are you? I need to talk with you later this evening, so I'll be giving you a call again. So that is this week's The Decision Hour, Transition on Purpose. So check that out. Next up, we got Broken and Blessed with yours truly again. This week's topic is I Am Judas. Yeah. How many of you remember the story of Judas? Judas was one of the original 12 apostles of Jesus Christ. And it's been told that he was the one that betrayed Jesus. There's several passages in the Bible that lead to that conclusion, right? But why did Judas betray Jesus? And how does it all tie in with ourselves, our personal lives? How are we Judas? And James Boggs and myself, we talk about I Am Judas. And before any of you get upset, because I know some of you are already blood's boiling, just take a listen and listen to the explanation on why we feel that all of us can be Judas at some point in our lives, if not every day, right? So take a listen to that. That's this week's Broken and Blessed. The title of that is I Am Judas. Christina, how are you? Did you have a good birthday, young lady? I hope so. Give the little one a hug from me. Love it, love it, love it. All right, next up, we got the Power of Investing in People podcast with our gal, Shay Sparks. Has fear stopped you from being happy? I mean, truly happy. This week's guest, Max Neist, I hope I said his name right, shares how he found happiness after hitting rock bottom again and again and again. From being a veteran and then having an addiction take him down, he shares his heartfelt journey on his road to recovery. This is one of those episodes that pulls on the heartstrings. Very powerful stuff. Check it out. That's this week's The Power of Investing in People podcast. Andrew, what is up, brother? Thank you for coming on. I've been really nervous that everybody was yelling at me earlier because I didn't jump on this morning, so I was trying to switch it up a bit. All right, next up we have Carry On Podcast, the Carry On Podcast, and I think she's still on. This week's episode, Major General Greg Martin, United States Army. Major General, wow, look at that, moving up. Woo! Major General Greg Martin, United States Army. And because September, and I should have mentioned this, I feel horrible now. September is Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month, right? And in this episode, they're highlighting a powerful story about mental health and wellness. Special guest today, as I said, Major General Greg Martin. Grateful to have him on the show to discuss his story and a very public mental health battle that has resulted in a passionate mental health campaign to stop the stigma and to start saving lives. This is a really, really good episode. Make sure you check it out. It's the Carry On podcast this week. Andrew, yeah, brother, I'm going to see you next week. I'll shoot you a text over the weekend. All right, next up, we got the Arms Room Show. This week, they are discussing preparing your kids for bad situations. The who, what, when, where, and the why. Check it out. If you got kids, you should be listening to this show. Absolutely. This was a great show this week. I loved it. Next up, we got Not Your Average Operator. This week's show is titled Remembering 9/11 20 Years Later. It was a tough conversation about the harsh reality of 9/11 2001. In this episode, you're going to hear Melon, Raph, and Mike where they were that day to share their stories and ultimately how it changed their lives and their careers for it to define an entire generation. It's important for all of us to understand what 9/11 brought to the Western world, what 9/12 made us realize what was possible as a society, and also how it all still affects us today and carries us into the future to combat terrorism. This is another big episode, and you got guys that have been there, chewed the dirt in foreign lands. Some of them still do. So check that out. That's this week's Not Your Average Operator. They never disappoint. So that's this week's Not Your Average Operator. And sticking with the 9/11 again, this week's 9/11 Remembered podcast with Eric. His guest this week is first responder Dan Cook. Dan, thank you, sir. Dan is the founder of a part-time Patriot Project. Dan is a single father who started a grassroots movement to change the way citizens can become more active within their local communities in regards to political decisions that are made by politicians who might not be actually serving the stakeholders of the community as they were elected to. So Dan came up with a plan that gets the community to engage locally, which ultimately translate into similar national issues as well. Listen, this is something everybody should be listening to, and this is what we need to do. It's if we want to make change on a national level, it starts at home at the local level. So check that out. That's this week's 9/11 Remembered podcast. You got the Ubaldi reports. Make sure you check that out. The guys they're tweaking some stuff a little bit. Go to Ubaldi reports on their Facebook page. They got some videos that are up that are kind of funny. So check that out. This is Ubaldi reports. What else? Got your 6 at 6 this weekend, Sunday. And I know I'm going to catch heat for this. Andrea or Mark, they'll eventually come on and leave a comment throughout the weekend or whatnot. Patriot Pride guys, I got to catch up. That I am a little bit behind on getting their show up. That's my fault. So, but you can check out their live show every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time with the People's Patriot Project. Go to their Facebook page, and you can see it every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let's see here. What else do we have? The S3, the sports show with JD. JD this week, he's breaking down week 2 of the NFL schedule. Talks a little bit about fantasy football. Go and no-go for who you need to play or drop this week in the fantasy football league, your fantasy football league. Also, he's going to break down the top 25 college football matchups, what his locks are of the week, and his sports book bets for the weekend in Arizona. So all you Arizona sports bettors down there, now that Arizona has sports betting, take a listen to what JD's locks are for the week. That is the S3. Check it out. Next up, we got a dose of Did You Know with our gal Danny Rocco over at Devoted to a Soldier. Check it out. She's got new stuff coming in. We're in the process of updating her podcast side of things, but you can check out her live stuff. Go to Devoted to a Soldier or Danny Rocco to watch her shows. Next up, we have last one. The Decision Hour. Well, I thought you did one. I did, but we did 2 shows this week. Second show, the Decision Hour. For the second show this week, we continued on with the Let's Have a Conversation series, and we titled this one The Circus, because that's kind of what our government has turned into, the damn circus, right? It's turned into a circus. People don't believe in their government anymore, and you can take a listen to this as we discuss what's going on right now, how the government has just kind of turned everything inside, outside, and upside down. Who is in charge? What's happening in our country, what's going to affect the global economy, and have we lost our freedoms? It's all a big circus, it seems like, right? But there's some light at the end of the tunnel. So take a listen and find out what decisions you can make to help get things under control. There is light at the end of the tunnel. That's all for the actual shows this week. I got to give a shout out to our sponsors. To A Republic, if you go get one of their shirts, use its promo code HMG, you get 10% off every time you make a purchase on their website. That's To A Republic. Circus is kind. It probably is. I don't want to say what I'm actually thinking, but so we'll just go with circus. Let's see here. Simper Savage. Go check out the best salad dressings and marinades on the planet. Go to simpersavage.com. Get your order today. Short Mountain Distillery. We're heading over there on Monday to go work with our sister company, HMG Beverage, to get our gin. And we have a couple of bourbons coming out, but we have one that's ready to go. It's a limited edition. It will be available probably next month. It will be available next week in the state of Tennessee, but we're trying to get it out to the much larger masses here within the next month or two. Attica Systems, thank you very much. Digital Trigger, Rick's Roasters. We were down at the roaster today. We picked up a bunch of our HMG coffee. If you have not tried our HMG coffee, go to hmgbeverage.com or hmgcoffee.com and sign up for your monthly subscription today. If you're not sure which blend you like, then grab one of our sample packs. First Amendment Petroleum, thank you. And then, of course, last, it's certainly not least, we love our tax people and our bookkeeping company that we work with. My Tax Fella, tis the season. It's getting around that corner where if you own a business and you got to get your bookkeeping wrapped up for the year and you got to get your taxes ready and whatnot, My Tax Fella, go talk to my man Anthony over there and he will hook you up. So those of you that came on and left a comment, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's been a crazy, crazy day. Next week, we will be in Tampa, Florida, doing the show live somewhere in Tampa. And we will, I'll see you next week, guys. Have a great weekend. God bless you. God bless America. We'll see you guys in Tampa, Florida next week.